We're talking about security today, Anthony. Security!
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Hey, everybody. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. Of course, that's Andy Melchiori. I'm Glenn Hausman, and you've tuned in to the #1 show in hospitality. Anthony, great to see you. But I'm sure you were taken a little bit aback last night when Joe Biden personally called out resort fees, huh?
I didn't hear that. I fell asleep. Sleepy Anthony.
Well, you know how I feel.
Say? What did he say? Do we really have, with everything that's going on in the world, is that really something he needs to bring up in the State of the Union?
Oh, it's an hour and a half speech, dude. He brought up everything. They're trying to push this junk fees thing to go through because, consumers are getting tired of having to pay for all these ridiculous fees up and down whenever they leave the house, no matter what they seem to purchase these days. So that's one of the fees that they want to get rid of. So he called out the hotel industry saying something along the lines of people are tired of paying for resort fees in hotels when they're not even resorts.
Well, I think Glenn Hausman probably put him up to that.
Hey, listen, you know what a fan I am of resort fees over there. And we also know how you feel about resort fees. Yeah, we still are.
Who's that guy in Orlando? Who's that guy in Orlando? I said, who's that guy in Orlando that helped create them?
Yeah, I don't know. Some Anthony dude or something like that.
I'm not a big fan of resort fees if there's no value.
Well, there is value because a lot of hotels these days, they allow you to make local phone calls. They'll give you a newspaper and things like that are really highly sought out.
The expenses of hotels are going up and up and up. And there's only so much you can push the rate, even though rates are going up. So I don't believe in ridiculous resort fees. But when you have a beautiful resort and the land is expensive and the taxes are expensive and the payroll is expensive and everything keeps going up and up and up and up and up, you want that resort to be there. You want that resort to be on Myrtle Beach. You want that resort to be in Florida or wherever it is. Not a better way, but it's not. Some hotels, and I've seen it, where some hotels just do it to make extra money, but some hotels are just clinging to life.
Oh yeah, I know, but I don't think. I don't think. I think you can still charge the same amount of dollars to the consumer without framing it in that particular way. But you and I have a long history of sparring on this particular issue.
Well, what you're going to say, you're going to say put it in the rate, and every hotelier would tell you that's like if you're in the hotel business, that's not even an option.
And I'm always looking at it from the consumer's point of view, so that's kind of where
all right. Listen, your new name is Glenn Trader Hausman. I understand.
I'll tell you what, Anthony. One thing I know we could both agree on is our friends over at Avgo with their virtual front desk. They've got a human-assisted front desk, great for helping with automated check-ins in case you folks out there don't have somebody to physically be there. I'm thinking during that night audit, there might not be an individual there, but here somebody comes in, they can still get their room key, they can still get help, and there's a person that's on that screen. They get that human interaction, but it's still automated for your hotel. And they can help with check-in, check-out, upsells, upgrades, paying, reward program connectivity, other reservations, et cetera, et cetera. Be sure to check them out at avgo.com. That's AAVGO.com, AAVGO.com.
And it makes you feel secure. See what I did there?
I did. I like that. Speaking of being secure, today we're going to be talking a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean a lot of bit about cyber security. That's one thing, Anthony, I haven't really been thinking about lately, but it's such a big issue in hospitality. For example, we saw a lot of major breaches that happened with major hotel companies last year. And according to a IBM Security 2022 Global Case Study Report, it revealed that $2.94 million, the average total cost of a data breach in the hospitality industry during 2021 and 2022. And those associated costs from a breach come from several sources, such as lost business, reputational damage, legal costs, forensic activities, crisis management, regulatory response, and customer notification, to name a few. This article.
Listen, I sat on the board and the technology was breached, and I don't want to go into it or name the place.
We're not going to do that.
It was breached, and we had to deal with it.
Right. And it's no fair for us to throw any of the major brands under the bus
Every
over here.
company's getting breached every day.
Exactly. And that's the point. And that's why today we have on Rod Kaleho, and he's a consulting expert with Logic River and knows all about this stuff. Rod, great to have you join us today. How are you today? Oh,
you're on mute, buddy.
We cannot hear you. Still can't hear you.
Okay, still can't hear you. All right. I love this show.
Listen, you always had the dream that
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
There we go, Rod. Sorry to our audio listeners over there. So, Rod, what is the state of the hospitality industry in big overarching term about how we're dealing with cybersecurity breaches today in February of 2023? We lost you again on sound.
Can you mime?
Yeah. Movie.
Okay, we lost you. So let's take him out and bring him back in after he's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us a thumbs up when you got to figure it out. Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll talk about this. And now, do you know that there is something called ransom, where if you're a kid in his grandmother's basement and you basically breach a company, and I think I'm saying this right, I could be wrong.
Yep.
You breach a company. Now you can identify them and say, hey, just so you know, let them know I breached it. I didn't do anything with your information. I didn't steal your information, but I'm going to show you what I did, and it's a flaw. And legally, and again, I'm a little bit out of my depth here, but legally, there's a component of ransom that you can give to this person. So you can, so basically they're teaching you. The program was set up so people can show your vulnerabilities and say, all right, thank you. I appreciate it. Here's a tip, if you will, and go away as long as they don't breach it. And I believe you have to let the federal government know that that's happened.
Right.
And recently there's been a very big case in with Uber, if anybody's following that. And it's been the gentleman that was involved was actually found guilty, and everybody was surprised and shocked. And I have very strong opinions that he shouldn't have been. That was an Uber problem, not a one-person problem. But anyway, so it basically goes into something else. When they breach your information, they say, I have your information. I have 500,000 names. And if you don't give me X amount of dollars, you can't get it back. That's different.
Right.
That's illegal.
That's illegal. Rod, can we hear you now?
Let's try it. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Let's hope it sticks. So,
all right,
Rod, it's funny because when we were talking, this is actually ransomware is the first issue that we were talking about. And years ago, I had an instance where I turned on my computer and I had like this screen that was like very threatening that I better pay up or die or something like that. I don't know what happened, but I managed to turn it off and turn it back on and just hit some buttons like Control-Alt-Delete or something to take it to the BIOS mode. I don't remember exactly what it was. Hit a couple of other buttons and I was able to get through it and then get all my data off just in case, et cetera, et cetera. Most people are not that lucky. Right, Roderick? Right, Rod? Oh, now it's not working again.
Okay. On a different note, do you know how you know I'm a father of girls? Because one of my daughters put her hair tie on my microphone.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I usually find those hair ties around the house just randomly. I'm not sure, I'm not sure exactly what happens. I have a feeling that the cats get a hold of it. So Rod will be back in a minute.
So it's very interesting that exists, and I guess it exists because there are, no matter what you do, there are breaches. When I was sitting on the board of directors, it was an incident where someone basically said, we got everything. And we're going to shut it down. And they did. They shut down the technology. That, I believe, was illegal. I don't know what happened and if we press charge. We just want to get our information back. And but it's every company every day.
Yep. Rod, how hopefully we got sound now. How frequent of an issue is this? Rod, can you hear us? Nope.
Rod, can you hear us?
I don't think you hear us. Meanwhile, let me just change topics real quick. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but Hilton has hired a brand new EVP of Corporate Affairs, which happens to be Catherine Lugar, who used to be president and CEO of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, immediately preceding our good friend Chip Rogers. So that's pretty exciting to see.
What's her new position? I'm
Her
sorry.
coming back, Executive Vice President of Corporate Affairs. So for those of you folks that don't understand what that is, that's basically the politics side of the business, which makes a lot of sense since her last role was after the American Hotel and Lodging Association. She was CEO of the American Beverage Association. So she has a lot of experience in that hospitality, corporate affairs kind of universe. So it'll be really exciting to
see which button to push and who pushes the button.
Yes.
When it comes to helping the hotel industry. And, I've never been or understood that part of the business, but after meeting Chip and after seeing what's happened during COVID, how important our voices are and really funneled through people like that, people at Hilton, people at AHLA. Without them, we would just be victims of really bad policy sometimes. I remember during COVID, they weren't going to make us an essential business. And Chip said, where's the military going to say? Where are the nurses and doctors going to say? We have to be an essential business. But how out of touch can a congressman or senate be not making the hotel business essential business? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right. We're going to try one more time with Rod. He changed mics.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
okay,
there you go.
Rod.
We can definitely hear you.
I think somebody breached your cybersecurity, Rob.
Yeah, right. Rod, can you hear us?
All right, bye, Rod.
All right. Yeah, sorry, Rod. All right, that's not gonna.
Right. So let's keep going. We can't go back.
No, we cannot go back. Nothing will let us go back.
So let me ask you, what's the next conference you're going to there, Glenn Houseman?
I'm not going to a conference, but I got a speaking gig in Boston in a couple of weeks. But the next conference I'm going to is CLIC, the California Lodging Investment Conference, March 1st in the evening and all day on March 2nd. Join us over there. I'm psyched because I'm doing a panel called Refuel, which is all about how they're reinventing food and beverage in hotels through the food, through the design, and through the overall experience. That should be a whole lot of fun.
You know what we need to be doing is I think we need to make it easier with food choices for people that maybe have high blood sugar, maybe have high cholesterol, and no one's really doing a really good job of saying, eat this, don't eat this, eat this, don't eat this, eat this, don't eat that. And I really think that the hotel industry could really, like on room service, say, like there's a menu that says, hey, this is all good. And if you're watching your cholesterol and you're watching whatever, and we all kind of know what we have to watch, and we all kind of know where we have to eat healthy. But I think that would be really, really good to really, if we're really serious about health and wellness, and it's important. It's confusing, man. It gets real confusing. I got my blood work and my sugar was a little high because maybe I ate 27 cookies before I go to bed. And matter of fact, we had a funny day yesterday. What do middle-aged, and I'm going to say middle-aged, and nobody better hold it against me, men do in the morning of their before their podcast on Tuesday this week?
Hold on, I got a picture. Hold on, I got to get past my photos.
Are we going to really show that picture? That picture really disturbed me.
It's disturbing? All right, hold on. I don't care.
No, I'm kidding.
I know.
And I'll show you my picture. My picture's less graphic.
Here's me.
My picture's less graphic. Did you post that? Did you post that?
No, I didn't post it, but now everybody sees it because that's me getting EKG and heart stuff.
And that's my sonogram. I have twins.
So listen, most people say we have no heart here on No Vacancy, but we went to the doctors and we have now proven we do indeed. So
yeah, it's funny. It's funny. We both have to, because the high insurance we carry for this podcast.
Right.
Every year we have to go get a physical checkup. Because some of the stuff we spew is bullshit, and if we get sued for it, we have to make sure we have insurance, and the insurance wants us to get, checked up. Right, Glenn?
I'm sorry. I think you're getting us confused with a partisan news channels that are out there.
You know what's so funny? Anytime I'm shooting a season or even just a couple episodes, I have to get a physical, and they send a doctor to my house. And we joke around, we fool around. He takes my blood pressure. He goes, "You're perfect." I'm like, really? I would like, don't you draw blood and like, I don't know, see if I'm gonna, if I'm alive.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting that we were both at the doctor at the same time.
Pretty funny. I'm in the process, just so everybody knows, I'm fine, but I'm in the process of doing all those doctor's appointments that I haven't been doing over the last 4 or 5 years or so. So I want to check it all off my list. Too. Yeah, me
too. Listen, if I'm going to 57, so I'm going to live another 57 years, 114. I got to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah, That's a lot. All right, so on the back to the hospitality side of the business, it was reported this week that Sonesta, which is now the 8th largest hotel company in the United States, announced that it added 74 properties to its franchise portfolio. This is huge for them because they only started doing franchising basically at the end of 21, beginning of 2022. And they've done a great job at selling off some properties and then getting those management companies, getting management contracts, franchise contracts back from those companies. So that's worked out really well for them.
Hey, Glenn, I'm going to add to your stress a little bit.
Yeah.
I unfortunately have to do something 30 seconds, so you need to take me out, and I'll be back in 30 seconds. I have a little bit of emergency.
All right, this is delightful. But don't worry, because I can fill time, not like a pro, because I'm going to bring you on.
I was going to say, I guess I can come in now.
You know what I love about today's episode is that it is such a cluster F that no matter what happens, from this point forward, I'm going to be eternally entertained.
Hey, this is what technology is. This is what our industry is. We just pivot, whatever it is.
I should let everybody know, besides all the mess that you're seeing that's going on, my studio is not working at all today. I can't see half of what's going on over here. All my presets are missing. I can't see myself, which is a relief. But I don't know what's going on with all of this.
It's got to have been that picture with you all hooked up yesterday.
Yeah, all right,
that was more than I think anyone needed to see for today.
So here on the hospitality medical update, Kim Hodge says is she had hand surgery yesterday. Well, we hope you're doing better. Hey, look who's back.
You want to know what my emergency is?
Yeah.
I left the stove on.
All right, Suzanne, we'll see you later. Did you really leave the stove on, or did you have that feeling you left the stove on?
I left the stove on.
All right. What were you cooking?
Eggs.
Oh, that's yummy.
Yeah, my children make fun of the way I say eggs, but eggs.
Eggs. What size eggs do you like?
Jumbo.
All right. I get intimidated by jumbos. I like the large.
But I have nothing to say about that. But I'm sure you grow them in your backyard.
Yeah.
But let's get back a little bit and kind of talk about something we have no idea about, because that's what we're good at.
Yeah.
It's really important when a guest, like there's two types of security, right? There's when you give somebody your credit card and you give somebody your trust that they're going to charge your credit card and no one's going to steal it. And unfortunately, a lot of people I know have had instances where people stole the credit card, whether it be the night auditor, whoever, and used it, and they track it back to the hotel.
Yep.
That security and the security of making sure you're safe in your room.
Mm-hmm.
There's such a big responsibility for hoteliers to really ensure, and I think sometimes some hotel owners take it for granted, whether it be a credit card or whether it be sleeping in your bed at night, you should feel safe. And that person that has a master key should have a background check and be safe. However, cybersecurity, no matter what hotel companies do, no matter what businesses do, sometimes that information is breached. And as long as people know about it and as long as people are aware of it, it's understandable because it happens sometimes. But it's a part of our business. Think about the casino business.
Mm-hmm.
In Vegas, could you imagine what their cybersecurity setup is?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's pretty substantial. So this is related, but it doesn't sound it. I've been watching on Apple TV. I'm actually watching a TV series called Mythic Quest. It's about a company that designed a video game kind of thing. That's like the most popular video game. Their company in the TV show suffered a data breach, and some people are freaking out. But then there was one of the leaders in the company is like, "Don't freak out. Nobody cares. Not a big deal." And he's like, "It happens to everybody." And the consumer doesn't care at all. And I got to tell you, I tend to agree with that sentiment because we've seen a lot of major companies in the last few years have significant data breaches. And I've not heard any conversations amongst my peer group or my friends that even address this with any concern whatsoever. So not saying that's a good thing, but it's just an interesting observation.
Yeah, I think it's not so much that people don't care. It's that we feel that it's going to be fixed. It's like a captain of an airplane. It's like, there's a problem with the engine. There's a problem with the plane. We trust that the captain will figure out how to land the plane safely, right? So it's not that we don't care, but we have trust in the captain because we know something can happen when we're in air. But when we see that guy or that woman in the cockpit, we just kind of look at them going, they look like they know what they're doing. Do you ever go onto a plane and see a person flying the plane, whether it be somebody very old or maybe very young? And you're like, you got this?
Yeah, I hear you. I only feel comfortable when I notice people seem to be in their 40s or 50s that are flying the plane. When I'm significantly older than them, it gets me a little bit anxious, kind of like when the doctor's a little too young.
You know what? I as long as they look like they're the person I cheated off in high school, I feel okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you completely on that. One time when I was in high school, I had a buddy of mine that used to copy all of my papers and stuff like that. So our professor or teacher sent back, I got an A on my paper. Yes, I was very excited about that. And his just in writing just said, "C. Glenn."
Did it really?
Yeah.
So, my friend Heidi Leibowitz, dear friend of mine to this day. We just talked the other day. She's a chef now out in Oregon, and Supernatural. So if you want really good soups, go online and look at Supernatural. Amazing soups, amazing person. Anyway, she was my I cheated off her paper, and we got caught. And she still reminds me. She's like, well, you cheated off your paper.
Is she related to author Fran Leibowitz by any chance?
No, she's not. But she actually joined the Air Force too, and then she became a cook as well. And my friend, no, she wasn't a cook in the Air Force. She went to CIA afterwards. Another friend went. Maybe he was a cook, and he's now a chef. But Heidi is amazing, and she let me cheat off her paper. Matter of fact, I didn't cheat off too many people's paper.
Right.
But once in a while, you just got to look over there and say, "Oh, okay, that's a C. I thought it was a B. I'm going to change it to C." And then you find out you were right and they were wrong.
Listen, I'm not saying what's right or what's wrong either, but sometimes it's nice to have that reaffirmation that the answer you put down was correct.
Right. If you were in my high school, I would over you say, "Hey, Glenn, I'm going to cheat off your paper." Right. And for that, I'm going to give you protection. You're going to go, "I don't need protection." Say, "Yes, you do."
Yeah.
Because if you don't want to cheat off your paper, we're going to beat you up. No.
All right. No. Listen, I don't think apparently my volume is coming in and out as well. So I'm having all sorts of tech issues as well. So I just want to talk about one more story and then we'll get out of here. Hyatt Hotels completed the Dream Hotel Group acquisition this week. So that was really, really quick turnaround on that.
Yeah. It was probably 0.75% baked before it was announced.
Sure. Yeah.
So listen, it's a great deal. And for those people that don't know what Dream Hotel is, why don't you let people know what Dream Hotel is?
Dream Hotel is an awesome lifestyle brand, including Dream Hotels, the Chotwal, and Unscripted Hotels. So those three brands that have 12 hotels that are 9 managed and 3 licensed with another 24 in long-term management agreements are all going to be part now of the Hyatt Hotels family, meaning they'll be in the reservation system and all of that kind of good stuff. Jay Stein, who's the CEO of Dream, is going to be remaining in charge of that. So he's going to be head of Dream Hotels is his new title. And former Dream Hotel Group.
Rockstar.
What's that? Yeah, he's great. So all the major people are going to be in there. And if you want to get a good understanding of what a great company it is, I suggest checking our show from December 20th, 2022, when we were up at the Chotwal Lodge. And Anthony and I keep talking about that because it was such a great experience.
And there's a new one opening in Vegas in a couple of years, correct?
Yes, right across from Mandalay Bay and the airport. So that'll be a
really
cool
I just had an idea, Glenn. Mm-hmm. I'm going to the Forbes travel event at the end of the month. We're going to California at the end of the month. Why don't you just fly over, and we'll go do a podcast at the Fontainebleau. Call your friend at the Fontainebleau, and let's see if we can do that.
Yeah, maybe I can. Let me look at that schedule.
Is that a good idea?
That happens to be a really good idea.
I have one every once in a while, Glenn.
I know.
Anyway, we should do something together.
Yeah, we should do something together because we never do that. So
no, we don't ever do that. You're dodging me, man. Your last mention, you're like, "I'm busy. Stay over there, Anthony." I said, "All right." I'll fly over here.
Yeah, that seems.
And you made me go socialize.
Yeah. Sorry, I made you be social at the Alice conference. That was my apologies on that one.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, so we ready to go?
Yeah, let's get out of here. Sorry, everybody, for all of the mess. It happens sometimes, but I got to tell you, we had a long, good streak of not screwing up. But if you do want to try and find one of those shows where we screwed up in the past, why not listen to us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, SoundCloud, wherever you get your downloads. We are there. I challenge you to download all 730 plus shows in order to find any of the screw ups and let us know. And if you're listening and you want to watch us, find us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. He's at Anthony Hotels. I'm at Traveling Glenn. All right, we're done. Anything else you want to say?
No, sir.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Remember, you've got one life, so blaze on, and
be kind to yourself.
We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with less complications.